Hi and welcome to ZoomTV, the show where we explore everything that flies, drives and floats and invite you along for the experience. We're going to give you some information today and try and entertain you along the way. Over the last few years, I think it's fair to say that the focal point of manufacturers has been small cars and SUVs. Well, it's time for the family people mover to make a comeback. And on today's show, Allan Simons looks at the one that we think will lead the pack, the all-new Kia Carnival, thanks to Cannington Kia.
This is for people who take pride in their vehicle and want a car that's practical and yet still a really good drive.
It's clear that the new buzzword in the automotive industry is hybrid. Today we look at the first hybrid from Mitsubishi, the all-new Outlander.
This is a startling example of the very latest technology plug-in hybrid vehicles.
On last week's show, our ZoomTV Rewind took us on a hot air balloon ride almost over the centre of Melbourne itself. On today's show, we head to country Melbourne and take a hot air balloon ride over the beautiful and picturesque Yarra Valley. Once the balloon is stretched to full size, we gently begin to float until the landscape is a patchwork quilt below us. And if you're looking for a great event to attend, today we're going to give you our top 3 Zoom events to do with things that fly, drive and float. And of course, we catch up with this week's celebrity hitchhiker, Dave Reynolds, V8 supercar driver. What car do you currently drive?
I currently drive, I just picked it up, it's a FGX XR8 from Ford, which is brilliant, yeah.
So start your engines because it's time for ZoomTV.
It's a given these days just how good the Korean-made Kia motor cars are. It's been 10 years since we last saw a Kia Carnival. 10 years is a long time, and as good as the Carnival was, a lot of things have changed since then. And so too, I'm pleased to say, has the all-new 2015 Kia Carnival Platinum. We've been able to borrow this Carnival for the day from Cannington Kia, and the first thing we could tell was that it has style, and plenty of it. 10 years on, this Kia is by no means a box on wheels bought by the family that needs rather than wants a people mover. This is for people who take pride in their vehicle and want a car that's practical and yet still a really good drive. There's a trend right now in the United States where they're moving away from the big four-wheel drive SUVs and into the more practical and lighter people mover, particularly those with 7 or more seats. And when you have a look around both inside and outside of the new Kia Carnival Platinum, well, it's a trend I hope we in Australia will follow as well. SUVs are big, heavy and not particularly streamlined. People movers make more sense. They're easier to drive, more fuel efficient and much easier on the eye. The inside gives us another good reason to move away from SUVs. The interior of the new Carnival is impressive, with the style and materials usually found in the big-name European sedans. Cabin comfort, reliability, practicality and usability are what cars in this segment are all about. And those oh-so-clever Korean technicians have spent a lot of time and thought on this car, both inside and out. And the result? Well, it's fantastic. Seat layout is 2 seats in front, 3 in the centre row, and the centre row backrest can be folded down to form a table or can be removed entirely. These seats can be folded forward in an unusual way, with the seat back vertically over the top of the seat base, which is also vertical. The result is extra luggage length and volume. The last row of 3 seats has a 60-40 split arrangement. One or both sections can be folded completely flat to provide uninterrupted boot space. The stretch-out legroom gives us the sort of space we would only normally get in a limousine. We'll call big people movers like the 8-seater Kia need plenty of power. What's this car like?
Absolutely excellent, Alan. It comes in a 2.2 litre turbo diesel engine and a 3.3 litre V6 petrol.
So there's no problems whatsoever, huh?
Not at all.
Right, 3 fast facts for you. Tell me about economy.
The turbo diesel 2.2 litre is 7.7 litres per 100 kilometres. And the 3.3 litre V6 petrol is 11.6.
Warranty.
7 years factory warranty with 7 years cap price servicing and 7 years roadside assistance.
Fast fact number 3. Cole, what's your favourite feature?
Favourite feature would have to be the versatility of the centre row seats folding forward, so it makes easy access to get into the back seats.
The Carnival Platinum is the first Kia to be fitted with the company's new suite of safety aids, which includes blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning and forward collision warning. It's also fitted with 6 airbags plus electronic stability control and anti-lock brakes as standard. So let's hope more of us follow the lead of our American friends and turn away from the monster four-wheel drives and opt instead for the refinement and practicality of the people mover. Test drive Kia Carnival Platinum today at Cannington Kia, part of Australia's largest motoring group AHG. Go to canningtonkia.com.au.
Do you want to get more out of your diesel? Well, let the team at United Fuel Injection help you. They're the experts in diesel fuel injection, turbocharging and vehicle performance technologies. Make an appointment today and get more torque out of your diesel at unitedfuel.com.au. After the break, our ZoomTV Rewind takes us to the skies in a hot air balloon, and you don't want to miss the magnificent views. A few weeks back, I took you ballooning over the city of Melbourne. Well, today I'm back with Balloon Sunrise for round 2. Only this time I'm going to do it like they did in the olden days, silently over the countryside. Balloon Sunrise pick you up from the Balgownie Estate Winery, and from there it's a quick drive to the launch site. Even though hot air ballooning is entirely dependent on the weather, the odds of flying here are extremely high. And that's because the Yarra Valley is naturally sheltered by the surrounding ranges. Once the balloon is stretched to full size, we gently begin to float until the landscape is a patchwork quilt below us. Hey Marlon, I'm absolutely loving your office.
It's a tough job, isn't it?
It's a tough job. Have you been doing it for a while?
I've been flying commercially for about 20 years.
And through the Yarra Valley here?
In the Yarra Valley, backward and forward for 10 years, 12 years. I always seem to come back to the Yarra Valley. It's a really pretty spot to fly.
What are some of the places we're looking at? I didn't realise that Melbourne was so surrounded in hills.
Look, Melbourne, the Dandenong's right down to the south. Great view over the city. The Warramate Hills here. Domain Shandon Wineries. And Hillsville, just tucked over to the east here.
There's no chance we can duck down and grab a couple of wines?
Maybe later.
If the Melbourne city experience was the champagne, then this has to be the cognac. Slow, smooth, and of course enjoyed by an open fire. Most flights last an hour depending on the wind direction and strength, but up here time fades into irrelevance as you watch the countryside come to life. Don't let the landscape fool you. Up here it's anything but lonely. Some of these baskets can hold up to 16 people, which makes for an incredible social event to share with your family, friends or even work colleagues. What do you think, girls?
Yeah, it's great.
Once we've landed, it's back to the Balgownie Estate Winery for a 5-star champagne breakfast with the pilot and a chat about the flight. If you want the traditional ballooning experience, then this is it. There's no alarm clocks, no traffic jams, and no deadlines. There's just the occasional roar of the burner as you float gently with the breeze. So get out of your chair and into the air. Check out zoomtv.com.au and follow the links to Balloon Sunrise. What do people do that share a passion for things that fly, drive or float? They have events, and thanks to United Fuel Injection, here's 3 events we think you should attend. WA is the place to be if you're into the charging muscle of the Chrysler brand. All Chryslers are welcome on the day and the iconic American mark will be out in force. There's a show and shine, judging and trophies, Motorcana and family entertainment all day. It's happening down at the Perth Motorplex, Kwinana on Sunday the 17th of May and kicks off at 9 a.m. Celebrate 40 years of the McLean's Bridge display of classic and sport cars in Queensland. Take a drive down memory lane with one of the biggest and most impressive collections of classic cars in Australia. Learn about the evolution of motoring and check out some very rare machines at the Griffith University Logan campus in Meadowbrook. Bring the whole family for a great day of entertainment on Sunday the 17th, starting at 9:30 a.m. And in New South Wales, at the country music capital of Australia, Tamworth, it's the Shannon's Country Classic Motor Show. This is the premier motor show in country New South Wales, and there'll be plenty of classic, collectible and show cars, plus motorbikes will all come together for over 5,000 spectators. There'll even be local dealers and aftermarket specialists on hand to service your car. It runs over the weekend of the 16th and 17th of May. Each day starts at 9 a.m. and it's just $10 entry. So there's 3 of our favourite events submitted by you. Now, if you have an event coming up, we'd love to hear from you. All you've got to do is go to our website, zoomtv.com.au, click on the events page, tell us about the event, give us some pictures, some videos, tell us what's going on so we can help give you a plug. You never know, we might even come along. Whether you're searching for a top quality new or pre-owned vehicle or a factory service with genuine Toyota parts, then City Toyota is your best option. Why? Because they're one of the most awarded Toyota dealers in Australia. And as a 5-star customer service dealership, you can be sure the helpful and professional team at City Toyota will always find the right car for you at the right price with the best possible service. To find out more, go to citytoyota.net.au. Honda's got one, Toyota's got one. In fact, most manufacturers have got them. They're hybrids. After the break, we look at the all-new Mitsubishi Outlander hybrid, thanks to John Hughes Mitsubishi.
Today, thanks to John Hughes, we've got a very special car for you to have a look at. It's a Mitsubishi, but not just any Mitsubishi. This is the PHEV Outlander Aspire. And what makes this Outlander so special? Well, how about, for a start, fuel economy figures of just 1.9 litres per 100 kilometres. Got your attention? Good. Let's have a look at it. This is a startling example of the very latest technology plug-in hybrid vehicles. In fact, it's the world's first plug-in hybrid SUV. The Outlander primarily relies on front and rear 60 kilowatt electric motors for power. A solely electric range of 50 to 60 kilometres is available, and that increases when the 87 kilowatt 2-litre petrol engine kicks in for confident long-distance travel. All drive sources are activated by a series of automated clutches. There is no gearbox. But there are 3 automatic drive modes. EV uses solely the 2 electric engines and gives us speeds up to 120 kilometres an hour under light throttle. Then series mode kicks in when you need more performance or the batteries are low, and sees the petrol engine charge the batteries and the electric motors drive the car. Parallel mode is activated at higher speeds or when maximum performance is required, and sees the petrol engine driving the front wheels directly in addition to the front and rear electric motors. Regenerative braking can be optimized by the driver by selecting 3 different levels from the console shifter, or 6 different levels from the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. If left to its own devices, the PHEV will regenerate energy whenever the brakes are applied. So as you can see, this is a very clever, very economical car. It can perform as a normal petrol SUV, or it can be an electric car, which you can recharge from a 15-amp home mains outlet, or it'll even recharge itself during normal braking operations. It's really clever. It's important to note that standard Australian household power points are rated at 10 amps, but can be upgraded to suit the Outlander PHEV for a few $100s. Mains outlet recharge is complete in 4 to 5 hours. A console button activated battery charge mode uses the petrol engine to restore 80% of charge in just 40 minutes while stationary, burning about 3 litres of fuel in the process. And of course, you can also do this on the move. Driving Outlander under electric power is kind of weird. It's so quiet and serene. The petrol motor kicks in every now and then automatically, but even that is barely discernible. There's a surprising amount of power available for takeoff. 5 adults can fit in easily, and the ride is very comfortable. This Outlander has plenty of torque and easily lives up to its SUV status. It also has a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. Are Mitsubishi showing us the future of motoring here? I think they very well could be. Test drive Outlander soon at John Hughes Mitsubishi. Go to johnhughes.com.au or follow the links from ZoomTV.
I'm now joined by Shelley, one of the lucky winners of the Ian Diffin City Discount Tyres Performance Driving Day. Shelley, have you learnt much today?
I have, very much so. How to push my car to its limit and myself. Good instruction, it was great.
Do you have a greater understanding of what your car can and can't do?
Yes, very much so.
And what about as a driver, what you probably didn't know and what you do know now?
Oh, just where to brake, where to turn, you know, and get it all synchronised.
It seemed like you're very confident that you've actually come away with a bit more than you came here with.
Yes, I'd have. Yeah, I come in and I was very nervous, and being the only girl as well in the course today, I felt a bit intimidated by some of the guys and some of the high-powered vehicles.
Tell me about your car.
It's a 2009 Cruise, CDX model. Beautiful to drive, great on fuel, love how it handles.
And what's your favourite feature?
The colour.
You just love the colour, you just
the
nabbed
colour.
it because of that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, how about you jump back in it and go and finish your training off, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you own something incredible that drives, flies or floats? Then we want to hear about it and maybe even have you on the show. All you have to do is film a short video under 2 minutes long about your car, your motorbike, your four-wheel drive, your boat or your plane, and tell us just what makes it so great. Then upload your video to YouTube and email the link to imazoomaholic@zoomtv.com.au. You and your car could feature on the show all around Australia. Plus, if you're the member of a motoring enthusiast club and you've got an event coming up, let us know about it, and you never know, we might come along. V8 supercar drivers do some pretty cool stuff on the track. What would one do on the water when they're strapped into a jet boat? After the break, we find out when we catch up with this week's celebrity hitchhiker, V8 supercar driver, Dave Reynolds. Welcome back to Zoom TV. As I said before the break, I'm catching up with a very special person today, and it's Dave Reynolds from Team Bottle-O, V8 supercar driver. Mate, welcome aboard my boat.
Thanks, Aaron. Cheers, mate.
It's not my boat, but apparently the Tourism WA wanted to test your skills out on the water. How'd you find it?
Yeah, they took us out on the Swan River and gave us a few like 360s, and yeah, I've never really been on a jet boat before, so it was pretty cool. They pointed out these 3 swans swimming across the river, and they said that is why they call it Swan River, because those 3 swans. I'm like, right, they must be 100 years old then.
There's a few out there, but they're all they're not welcome here. Why we're building Elizabeth Quay, which is going to be a great tourism attraction, probably in a couple of years when you come back.
All right.
Now, tell us about your career. At the moment, you're in the top 10. You've got a new car. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm sitting 8th in the championship. We've only done 2 rounds, and we come to Perth for our 3rd round. I've got a new car. It's called the FGX, so it precedes the old FG model, and it's a lot better than the old car. Like, it's got more downforce, it's much more balanced, and it's much nicer for me to drive, and I feel like I can push it a bit harder.
And there's a lot of people contributing, obviously, to the result that you're out there and paid to achieve.
Absolutely.
But ultimately, you're the person that's responsible for that result.
Yeah, we're sort of in the limelight a bit more than the rest of the team, but you know, back at the workshop we've got about 65 employees working for 4 cars, so you know, it's a huge team sport, but everyone forgets that. You know, I always say 95% of my speed and effort on the weekend comes from the team and the preparation they put in off track.
Okay, now how did you get into racing itself?
How did I get into racing? I started racing go-karts when I was 6 years old, so back in 1991. I did that for a few years, and I gave up and played tennis for a bit, and then I gave up tennis because it was boring me, and I started racing karts again, and then I raced Formula Ford, Carrera Cup and V8 supercars. You know, that's, I suppose, 20 odd years of racing.
Okay, so if someone out there was thinking they want to follow in your footsteps as such and become a supercar driver, what would they have to possess that would clearly say that they'd be successful in it?
Oh, there's a number of different things. You know, you got to be a strong competitor. You got to have a great mindset. You always got to believe you're the best driver.
Okay, well, I'm going to find out if you answer my questions the best. Are you ready for the Fast Five?
All right. Shoot.
Okay, what was the first car you ever owned?
My first car was a Mazda RX-7 Series 1 1979. I was bought for $1,000 with my old man and spent the next, I don't know, 2 years fixing it up, building it, learning about it, and I think that's why I got such terrible grades at school.
Now, what would be your opinion of the worst car ever made?
The worst car ever made? Maybe a Suzuki Mighty Boy. Do you know what they are?
Oh, really? Yes, I do. I grew up on a farm. They were great for carrying half a bale of hay.
Yeah, they were tiny. They were pointless.
They were. What is your opinion of the best car ever made?
The best car ever made? I'm a big fan of the 911 turbos. When I won the Carrera Cup Championship in 2007, I was 23 years old and they gave me one for a few months. It was seriously a brilliant car. Heaps of power, well balanced, had every trick. It was comfortable to drive, easy to park, everything.
And what car do you currently drive?
I currently drive, I just picked it up, it's a FGX XR8 from Ford, which is brilliant, yeah.
And the final question, what is your biggest fear?
I'd say heights and flying, like commercial jets. Like I'm just horrible at flying. I've gotten better over the years, but I always end up watching the night before I leave to go somewhere. I always end up watching air crash investigation.
That's where you're going wrong.
That's where I go. I know that's where I'm going wrong.
Anyway, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Aaron. Cheers,
Good
mate.
luck with the rest of the year, and we hope you stay inside the top 10, push for the top 5. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'll give it a bang. Thanks, mate.
There you go. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the show because it's done, we're over, go to zoomtv.com.au, and don't forget, if you've got an event coming up, we want to hear about it. Give us all the details. Follow the links from the events page. You never know, we might even come along. Until next week, bye for now. Thanks for watching, and remember, whatever you do that Zooms, make sure you do it safe. And that's a wrap.